Welcome to Newsmax TV. I'm Kathleen Walter. Joining us via the phone is a distinguished career military man, noted author and military analyst, General Paul Vallely. He is the founder of the Stand Up America Project and serves as the Military Committee Chairman for the Center for Security Policy in Washington, D.C. He's the author of 3 books, including Endgame, Blueprint for Victory for Winning the War on Terror, which he co-wrote with Colonel Oliver North and General Thomas McInerney. General Vallely, thanks so much for joining us.
Happy to be with you again. Thank you for the invitation.
General Vallely, we're hearing from General Petraeus now that the U.S. has developed contingency plans to deal with Iran's nuclear facilities. What do Petraeus' comments tell us about what the Obama administration plans to do next?
Well, I'm not sure it tells us anything positive because we have not had a good, solid commitment from the Obama administration on supporting Israel. As a matter of fact, it's been more anti-Israel with the current administration. But I think what General Petraeus was saying, that they've done the targeting on the about 75 major targets in Iran. The Israelis have confirmed and have done much of the targeting as well if they have to take action on their own. So General Petraeus was talking about contingency plan either to support Israel or to take some kind of action from the United States in the event the administration would do that. So it depends on the threat.
Now, President Obama has preached diplomacy as his approach to Iran, and his administration has been mustering support for sanctions. How's that been working?
Not very well. In fact, it hasn't worked at all since 1979 when they first took our hostages. The Iranians are on track to do what they want to do, extend Sharia law around the world. The only thing we can hope for, other than an attack by Israel or the United States, is that the Iranian opposition prevails and we have a what we call a velvet revolution in Iran. So this administration has taken the same approach of appeasement, and sanctions do not work and will not work. This Iranian regime is on a path to be the dominant hegemonic force in the Middle East, and we have to understand that.
Now, General Petraeus says that Iran's nuclear installations can be bombed. Given your military insight, what would these contingency plans involve? And if we did attack, what can we expect in the form of a potential counterattack?
Well, you can, to answer your last question first, the Iranians are planning, even now as we know, a preemptive attack on the Israeli airfields, and they could launch that at any time. Now, if the Mossad agents, Israeli intelligence, picks that up, then Israel's prepared to launch on not only the nuclear targets and to shut them down as best they can, even though they're 2 to 3 levels deep. They can certainly cause 80% damage of those facilities if need be. But keep in mind also the contingency plans also reflect another 65 or more what we call regime targets. These are air bases, these are missile sites, port facilities, command and control facilities, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard command and control structure. So the contingency plans would take into account all of those types of targets.
All right. A neoconservative think tank suspects there's a link between Iran, the Yemeni opposition groups, and al-Qaeda militants. Obama has come out saying we are at war and zeroed in on al-Qaeda lone wolf terrorists. Is his approach the right approach?
No, it's not. The war is actually against radical Islamists, al-Qaeda being one of the lead organizations. But you have Hezbollah, which is a proxy of Iran, that are more capable and more well-armed and better commanded than al-Qaeda is. So you've got these proxy forces down to include Hamas and some of the other groups that are around the world as they spread and train and develop their cells. So what we're seeing in America, for example, is what we call the third Jihad. This is an attack on American soil using whatever means they can, and we've seen those particular occurrences happening at Fort Hood, when we had 2 recruiters killed this past year, as well as the latest bomber on board that jet airliner coming from Amsterdam into Detroit, and another scare today. So they're ramping up the third jihad very much.
Do you agree with General McInerney that the U.S. should strip search all 18 to 28-year-old Muslim males before allowing them to board airplanes?
Well, I have said, along with General McInerney right from 2001, that we need to have terrorist, radical jihad profiling. And that's not racial profiling. But we understand that all the terrorist attacks have been from young Muslim men, and that they need to be profiled more intensely. The same thing within our armed forces, and we've got to vet out these people before they even get on an aircraft and know who the enemy are out there, where they're being trained, and then take it to the next step where we destroy these training facilities, both in Pakistan, in Somalia, which is growing, as well as Yemen.
General, last question real quickly. In recent weeks, the Obama administration has taken a lot of heat for its response to that attempted bombing of that Detroit-bound airliner. How confident are you that this administration will be able to connect the dots moving forward?
Well, you know, and this goes back even to the Bush administration, where we weren't connecting the dots enough and taking enough preemptive action. I think we're just so overcome by bureaucracy and by restrictive rules of engagement, political correctness, the inability for the agency still to talk, communicate directly in a very rapid response mode. So I'm not confident at all that we're anywhere prepared for this third jihad.
All right, General Paul Vallely, thanks so much for joining us. Always a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for watching Newsmax TV.
Sarah Palin's new book, Going Rogue in American Life, will be released on November 17th. You can be among the first to get your copy. Check out our incredible free offer for Sarah's new book. Just go to Newsmax.com and click on the top banner for this great offer. Act today.